moldy bread? That does it. I'm on the next ship to Somerset.
Welcome back, everyone, to Master the Fun and Elder Scrolls Online. Today we're going to talk about the stream from Bethesda announcing the Dark Heart of Skyrim and the new chapter GREYMOOR that happened yesterday. And we're going to summarize it because it was a very long stream. You know, it was an hour and a half, 2 hours or something like that. And as usual, there was a lot of talk, but not a lot of actual detail about it. You know, I mean, basically, we're going to summarize the 10. We're going to summarize the 10 major points of the video of the stream. So, well, number one, the GREYMOOR chapter. That's what it's called. GREYMOOR, GREYMOOR. It will happen supposedly in May. According to one thing I've seen on the, you know, according to the selling page where they're already selling it. Okay, so let's get to it. Firstly, of course, the major point is the GREYMOOR chapter. It'll feature cities, mostly Western Skyrim, such as Morthal, Solitude, Blackreach, Labyrinthian, and I believe they mentioned Dragon Bridge. I'm not familiar with that name. I do remember the other ones, but that's what they did mention. I'm not sure what other cities were included. The other big thing, the other point was Lyris Titanborn. Her participation throughout the year, I believe, will be present. Supposedly she's really tough and she's really killing things pretty much all the time, and she'll be actually helping you do quests, not like in Elsewhere where the NPC pretty much just ran away every time. So, also they mentioned the Reach, that the Reach will be part of it in some way. Of course, they're very vague. Of course, they don't want to give away all the secrets, supposedly, or, you know, a lot of spoilers. So that's another point that they mentioned. Another thing is Falmer. A lot of people remember the Falmer in Skyrim, and they didn't want to say a lot about it, and they were almost discounting it. But one of the devs toward the very end said, well, you might see, and he kind of like mumbled smilingly as if there will be the presence of Falmer in some way during the year, if not in the GREYMOOR chapter. Another thing is, another huge thing I should say, probably the second huge thing, if not the first, in it will be the Antiquities system. It's a new system, kind of like mining, you know, or crafting. This is going to be a new system called the Antiquity system. Now, at least to me, I didn't quite understand it very well. Supposedly, there's 2 skill lines included in it. And what you do is there's the scrying and the digging. So scrying, well, by definition means, you know, to foresee the future with a crystal ball or whatever, you know, or with some other device. So what you have is some kind of artifact which you're going to use to, I suppose, scry locations throughout Tamriel. That's throughout the world. It's not just in Western Skyrim. It'll be throughout Tamriel, where it helps you locate or narrow down locations to find items. So you go to that location, let's say, you know, Oradon, and you go to a specific spot, and there comes the second skill line, which is the digging. So I guess there's a way to dig it up, and you have a skill line for that, so you can actually perhaps find something, or maybe find some better quality of some item, which can include housing items or other types of items that maybe help you in combat, or maybe something that you can wear. And it also, I believe, includes a free pet. They're including they are including a free mount to be able to find or include it in this possible, you know, relics, if you would say relics or antiquities. Another point on the side is a new siege weapon. Now, at one point they said you could actually find a new siege weapon. I'm not sure if that was part of the antiquities line or if that's just part of the PvP in Cyrodiil. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and check on that one. But supposedly there'll be a new siege weapon. Of course, they did not say what it was, so we don't know other than it will exist. Okay. And another major point is the new trial. There'll be a new trial, and that will, I believe it's called Kyne's Aegis. I believe it's called Kyne's Aegis, if I'm not mistaken. So there may be new mechanics in that trial, such as the grappling hook that might be used in the trial. I'm not too, my memory's slipping on that one. They definitely did mention that grappling hook will be utilized again in whether it's in missions or dungeons or possibly that trial. So we shall see, but you can expect the need or the help of the grappling hook to be useful in certain situations. Another major point, because the new GREYMOOR chapter and basically the whole year involves, the storyline involves, as you could see from the trailer, which I'll be running sort of in the background here, is the vampires. There's a lot of vampire involvement, and they're actually going to be reworking or revamping, as they try to avoid the pun. So for example, the changes that you can see with the vampire is there'll be a new ultimate, and as it is, there's 4 stages, and every time you feed, supposedly you look better, whatever that means. You know, I'm not really into vampires too much, but now they're reversing that, where the more you feed, not only is it the stronger you get, but you will actually look worse. In other words, you'll look more like gruesome as a vampire. So I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing. I guess it's a personal preference. You know, the audience seemed to like it. But so the last point, as I'm looking down my list here, will be something totally non-content wise, in the sense of them releasing anything, but the game is actually going to be a lot smaller in disk size. In other words, I believe now it's over 80 gigs, right? Something ridiculous like that. Supposedly, because of their new system changes, etc., it's going to be almost 30 gigs less. So this will require us to re-download the entire game, but it's going to be a lot smaller. So that's good. I mean, 30 gigs is, you know, is actually huge. You could fit a lot more stuff in that 30 gigs there instead of having to buy more external hard drives or whatever else people do to find space for this. I know I've had size issues, not only with the regular game, but with the PTS, because that's a separate download, which is, you know, I mean, just between the PTS and the main, you're talking over 160 gigs. So that definitely helps. That's a big reduction there. And supposedly they've made other improvements, but the Undaunted event, which they claim was successful, they said it's still the grouping tool is still not 100%. But we'll see. So that's about it for me. Just a quick review. Hope you enjoyed that. Leave a like, subscribe. Thank you for all your support, for getting us so close, if not already beyond 1,000 subscribers. At least at the time of this, we're really close, and that's a big help. So thank you very much. Hope to see you all soon again. And as always, have fun. Cheers.